Hi, and welcome to Design Space Friday. Today we're going to do a card that is based on a card I saw um, Jennifer McGuire create. It's kind of a take on a peekaboo card, but she was using these big dies, and it was really cool. And I thought, how can I cricketize that? And I thought about the artfully sent cards. So this is the card that we're going to end up with. Um, it has a see-through on both sides, and then you'll put the sentiment pieces will go. And I actually ended up having to create 4 of those, so you'll have one for the back and one for the front, so that it's easier to do the adhesive and it kind of gives a little bit more stability. But the holes line right up. So when it closes, you just see right through it. It's really cool. It's on my blog, and I will put a link to that in the comment section. So I started with an Artfully Sent card. Artfully Sent is one of the close to my heart Cricut cartridges. It is all about cards. So if you get a chance and you want to go check it out, I will put my website information up there, or just message me and I will help you out. But the card, I want it to be an A2 card. So the first thing we're going to do is unlock, and we're going to make the width. It's going to be 8.5 because it's a 4 1/4. I hit the wrong thing there. And then it's going to be a 5 by 5.5. Right, and then I am going to put it at 1 and 1 for right now, just so I have it kind of out of the way because I have a lot of stuff over there. So what we want to do is to make another make a duplicate of the center of this. So the first thing we have to do is detach, because we can't play with something that is attached, and we need to detach the score line. Then we are going to bring in a square, and we are going to unlock it to make it a rectangle. And remember, this is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 card. So we can, and we're just playing with one side of it. So we're going to bring it over here. We will select both the card base and that piece, and we're going to do some aligning with it. And the first thing we're going to do is align it to the right. All right, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to align it vertically. And now that is going to put that right in the center of that card base. And we're going to need to duplicate that card base. Move that over here out of the way. All right, so now we'll have both of these selected. As you can see, they're both selected, and then we're going to slice. And now what we have is we have the outline piece, and we have this section, and this is the section we need. And then we will delete all of that. The score line is still there. That's good. That's what we want. And we're going to move our other card base back to 1 and 1, the one that we're going to try to get it to 1 and 1. Here we are. And then what we're going to do is we want this one to go on this side. We want it to mirror that, so we're going to have to flip it horizontally, and that way it's going to be mirrored, so that when you close it, you'll be able to see right through it. And then we're going to put it over here, and we want it to make sure that it stays in the center. So what I'm going to do is actually center it vertically, but I'm not going to center it. There's no way you can do it horizontally, because it's going to take up the whole thing. So we are going to just have to really eyeball it, and it's hard to do that if you cannot see the score line. So we will arrange this back, and then you can see the score line, and then we're going to make sure the score line is where it's supposed to be, and it is at 5 1/4, because remember, we're over an inch. So we do need to move this over to the left a little bit. so that we can get it. And I believe what I did on the last one was I put it at there at 1.25. And that pretty much did it. Now, as far as the vertical, remember we already did, and we'll make sure it stayed when we moved it. So we will do the align and make sure it stayed centered vertically. And so that will work out perfectly now. So you've got the same amount of space between each side. Now what we want to do is to select this and select the card base, and we want to slice it because we want those holes to be in the card base. So now you see you have it. I'm going to arrange it to the back so the score line comes up. So now we have a front and a back that are see-through, and because we flipped it, they are going to line up perfectly with each other. So the last thing that we want to do is to select that with the score line so that we can attach the score line. So that was pretty simple. The key is just you want to cut out, you want to slice out the section and then keep the part that you sliced out, and then just put it over here, mirror image it, and put it over here. So I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, these are going to be the pieces that will be the where the sentiment goes. So you stamp or however you want to do the sentiment here, and then like I said before too, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate out 2 more. You will put one on the back side, and what you'll do, what I did was I attached this one on the front first. After I stamped, I attached it where I wanted it, the front and the back, and then I came back and put the top part that's going to go on the inside, and I lined it up on the back side of this and put adhesive on it, and then I closed the card, and that put it right where I needed it to be. And then the back one was real easy to put on because you just put adhesive and line it up with the piece that's already on there. So it's real simple to line them up. You just want to make sure that you line them up so that you don't see the other pieces from the back. And like I said, you'll see how the card looks on my blog. And I did another variation. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek at it. Because it's going to actually be another blog post, and I will share the video on it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, there's a lot of card bases out there that you can find that you can do this peekaboo technique with, and it's really simple. The main thing is just making sure you get them centered perfectly. So enjoy, and I'll see you next week.